Welcome to the PPVG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
We are the passionate playing video gamers. That was a long Mo. And this is the episode we've been waiting for. This is our E3 predictions episode. We each will give 3 predictions for the Microsoft and Sony Press Conference, and another 3 predictions for the Nintendo Spotlight. Then we'll each have 1 prediction for the EA, Ubisoft, and Bethesda press conferences. But we're going to start off with the company that is number 1, Sony, and that is Mo's company. Number 1 supporter is Mo. Sucks a lot of dick for Sony. So,
Wow.
Mo, number 1 supporter, what is your first prediction? We each do 1 round.
Can I do my prediction? I'm going to get out of the way so you have a clean shot.
I don't
Spill my drink. I love whiskey.
Hey, dude, I suck Nintendo off, so it's all right.
No, everybody's watching the show. They know.
And Rich sucks Microsoft. We all have our own.
Hi.
No.
So I suck no Sony's dick, but they suck in mine right now because they're giving me all the free fucking good games that I want. They're actually talking about revamping the PlayStation Plus deals and getting some good games on there. So hopefully they follow through with that. I think they're going to announce that at Sony. How they want to make changes to the actual, just like Xbox Live, they want to increase productivity there. So I did read that, but
What's your prediction, though? What do you think? Your first prediction. Prediction number 1.
For Sony, for release, I think they're
or anything.
Well, I think they're going to release Bloodborne 2. I think they're going to actually announce it, and I think they're going to state it for either a September or October release, but that's just speculation. So
Prediction 1, Bloodborne October release. So they're going to announce it and have it come out this year.
Yep. I think with Dark Souls finishing off their DLC and finalizing their storyline on Dark Souls, on the Ring City, which I am currently playing, and it's amazing. It's awesome. I feel that the creator did say that he wanted to put more time into Bloodborne, and he's been kind of quiet and shy, trying to stay away from all questions and just, pleading the fifth for right now. But one of I did pull up a news reference that the lead production manager, and I forget his name, went on NeoGAF and actually told them that they were working on Bloodborne 2. So, big news.
All right, prediction. Bloodborne 2 being announced and will be released this year from Mo. Heard it here first.
Yeah.
And Rich, what's your first Sony prediction at their press conference?
I'm going to go off of something that Mo said. I think they're going to announce some tweaks to their online service, but it is not going to include physical disc emulation or any new entertainment programming. No more original movies or TV shows. I think they're going to try to stay away from that. They won't bring it up. It'll just be one of those you notice that it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
You talking about the PlayStation View or what?
No.
They backed the Powers TV show. They did 2 seasons of that. They've done some other. They were trying to make it, again, an all-encompassing entertainment machine as opposed to being a gaming console. I think they're going to stray away from it. Doesn't mean it'll go away completely, but they're not going to highlight it in any way. They're not going to mention that they're backing away, and they're certainly not going to announce anything new. They're going to react to what I think Microsoft's going to do, which is say we're here for the gamers, so they're going to try to.
Well, Sony started that first.
The powers thing kind of, and that's just like a little tip point from them, is that it was a good show. It wasn't horrible, but it was good. It had a storyline and everything. It just didn't go where they wanted it to go. So just from reading off,
nobody wanted to pay for it.
Exactly. So
I didn't pay for it. I watched all 2 seasons. So
I didn't pay for it either. But it's with them trying to make tweaks and changes, it's just them trying to stay in the competition and stay, with actual good stuff that they've been doing for the past few years now. So,
all right, my first prediction for the Sony press conference, and by now if you've been watching the prior episodes, I love VR. They will have a big push for VR, so they're gonna have a video of Gran Turismo Sport, which will have a release date in September. I think they will want to get before Microsoft Forza, they will want to release Gran Turismo. It's been delayed. Gran Turismo is always delayed. So I think, and that's VR support, both. So it's not just all VR. So Gran Turismo in September. In October, Until Dawn 2. It was a huge success where they started actually bundling it with their VR now. The $500 bundle was the PlayStation Worlds, They now moved it this year to Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Because they actually surprised them more than people would actually be buying Until Dawn's The Roller Coaster. Incredible game. I do think the sequel will come out in October with a release date for Paranormal Activity, which already has come out for like the Vive.
Yeah.
But now they've been working on PSVR. But I think in Halloween, October, they'll have Until Dawn 2, which is the 1-year anniversary. But my big, bold prediction for VR is Resistance 4 will be released. It'll be like Resident Evil. It'll be a drop-in and play, so you can play it in VR and without VR. I think that was huge for Resident Evil to have that, where you can play. You don't have to play the game all in VR and start over. You can play in VR, half hour, take it out, and load right where you left off and play it regular. Then that will be with Resistance 4, but it will be with the AIM controller. Came out with Farpoint, but you need more than one game for this controller. I played Farpoint a lot over the weekend. I loved it. But again, I'm biased, but I did enjoy Farpoint with the gun. Resistance 4 will be shown November release for Resistance with the AIM controller, but you can play it without.
Did you complete Farpoint?
I'm at the very end.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the last part.
That's a pretty good prediction with Resistance because they did acquire the licensing for it. Don't know if it's going to be called Resistance 4 or if they're actually, putting it forward, but that's a pretty good prediction.
It'll be like Killzone Shadowfall. I don't think they'll have a 4. It'll be a Resistance and a some name. But it'll be the 4th game in the series, which I've actually loved the Resistance series. Have you played?
Yeah, I played all 3 games. So the 3rd one kind of got a little weird towards the end.
The 3rd one did.
Yeah, but then I could see them bringing something back and making something creative.
But it brought back the weapon wheel, which I love.
Yeah.
I love the weapon
wheel.
There
was you have one gun and you have an alternate, like,
which was the second one. The first one had the weapon wheel, and then the second one went to the standard. You have 2 guns, which I loved the second game except the weapon wheel. If they had the weapon wheel in the second one, that would probably be one of my favorite first-person shooters.
Second game killed me because I always ran out of ammo all the time.
Yeah.
It was a pain in my ass.
Well, be more accurate next time.
No, Nightmare. I played on Nightmare.
Spraying okay, all right. Never mind then.
Yeah, I was playing on the hardest mode ever. So
I love the storyline. Again, alternate reality of World War II. You get invaded.
Pretty intense, actually.
Yeah, so I think they'll have Resistance 4, support the VR, but we'll have the AIM. So that's my first prediction. Going back to you, Mo, what's your second prediction for Sony?
I feel that with them bringing back or remastering Crash Bandicoot, I can see them remastering another one of the key titles like Jackson Dexter or even Spyro. I know that they've been gone for quite some time, but I can see them doing a remaster for one of those games. Or even if they can acquire the licensings for Gex, I can see them doing that too. But I think that would be more slated for next year, not this year.
Jak and Dexter, did they have a remastered?
Yeah.
Or for Jak and Dexter,
Yeah,
one game?
Was it for?
They put out 4.
They did Ratchet and Clank. I know that much.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
my bad. It was the new Ratchet and Clank.
And Ratchet and Clank got great reviews as well. So
I can do that new game too.
Yeah,
okay.
So
Jak and Dexter remaster. That's
I could see something like that, or even Spyro, because Spyro's been out of the game for quite some time, and a lot of people. There was a keynote for Spyro.
Was it 2 years ago or last year they showed Spyro, like a new Spyro game, not the remastered.
I don't remember. I really don't.
But it's. Sounds about right. If they're going to release a new Spyro, here's the remastered.
Yeah, I could see them. I could see them just putting out. Crash Bandicoot comes out this year. They already have a.
So Sony being a Nintendo, going the nostalgia, going for the old games. That's all Sony has. I get it. I understand.
That's all Sony has.
No,
just wait till you 3, my friend. Just wait till you 3, my friend.
Really joking. So going back,
they're just remastering, putting like Crash Bandicoot remastered looks pretty fucking good actually. They put time and effort into upgrading all the graphics to current gen, so it doesn't just look like blocked, sprites anymore. So I could see them doing that.
And Rich, what's your second prediction for the Sony press conference?
I think they're going to focus not so much on new titles. It's going to be a lot of, if they're doing third-party support, it's going to be timed exclusive kind of stuff. So kind of like how Tomb Raider was on Xbox, they'll do that where it releases first, or the DLC is only available, or it's available first on PlayStation.
For which games do you think they'll have?
I would assume probably Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, we're going to go along those lines.
They're going to have it all, plus Destiny and Call of Duty.
They're going to try to make, again, my thoughts are they're going to try to answer Microsoft's push, which is we're back to being a gamer's console, and they're going to go, yeah, but we're the ones who already have all the games, so enjoy getting everybody over there. We're already here, so.
All right. Hopefully they give some love to Microsoft, so Microsoft can have some exclusives.
It'll be up to people.
But no, you're right. It's Sony. They've been going with Sony. They've been partnering a lot with them with this generation. And again, Call of Duty and Destiny 2, they're aligned with timed DLC, like first 30 days on their first. Assassin's Creed has gone Sony.
And this is how they push that advantage.
A little bit.
Continue
Watch Dogs has been attached.
My whole thing is
Sony.
Their message needs to be, it's great that you guys are back catering to gamers. We've been doing it this whole generation. We're still here, and here's our backlog of exclusives and timed exclusives. That's their whole message, is minimize what they had tried to stray into that wasn't working, and then just go, but we've been doing all that stuff that you cared about a day ago with Microsoft's. We've been doing it the whole time. So here's the promised land. That's stay the course. That's the whole message with Sony.
My second prediction will be God of War for release in October. About October, I know you said Blood Rain. I think God of War...
Bloodborne, not Blood Rain.
Big difference, right?
Just looking for vampires.
Bloodborne.
That's Code Vein. That's a different game.
Little difference. Bloodborne. Yes. Thank you, Mo, for correcting me. I do think someone needs that big title. I think they'll release it in October. I think they'll do Knack 2 will be their September release. Don't put that in October, November. Have that start in September. Have God of War in October. November, have Spider-Man with the Blu-ray release. Try and coincide with that with Sony. It comes out on Blu-ray in mid-November, more than likely. It takes 4 months. Have the game, do a little dual promotion for the two. February 2018, I think they'll do Days Gone. I think they're going to go their route with Horizon. With Horizon, the new IP is going to get a lot in February. After the holidays, Horizon did very well in February. That new IP looked incredible. I think Days Gone will look incredible. Have that new IP released in February 2018. And then Detroit Become Human will be their spring 2018.
I can see that one having like VR support for some reason.
Detroit.
I could see that being kind of interesting. Especially with the whole detective view and that aspect would be pretty cool. I don't know, but if they sprung that on you, would you get it for VR?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just
like almost get any game like that in VR. But the big prediction will be God of War October release. I wouldn't be surprised if it's November, but I'm going October to have Spider-Man have that dual promotion in November. But Days Gone in Detroit, I think, will have trailers, but then they will be shown for 2018. But Sony's so stacked with all of these games that you don't want them to gobble each other up during this holiday.
Right.
Have a lot of love for 2018. So God of War, October release. And Mo, what's your last prediction for the Sony press conference?
I think they will do a segment for VR. I think they're gonna do some games that we don't expect, just like you were saying. Actually, I think they're gonna have a couple surprises for VR, especially with Farpoint coming out and you playing through it and having that gun aspect and kind of giving a little bit of control so other developers can actually go out and test it out.
Have a second game.
Yeah, and they can test it out, and they'll be like, oh shit, we can actually do a lot with this. I think there'll be a few surprises with VR. So I can see them utilizing the gun aspect, developers actually getting their hands on it, dev kits, start producing something more interesting, and I can see them pushing it. I don't know what, though. I couldn't tell you what, but I can tell you that I feel that they'll have a little segment, a special segment just for you, Steve.
They know my way to my heart. Just VR, and I'll get hard the entire time. No, I love my VR. And Rich, what's your last prediction for the Sony press conference?
If they're going to continue with the VR thing, I think they're going to introduce new peripheral. Something that would be like a steering wheel, because it makes sense to be seated. And
Gran Turismo Sport, have that.
That's very, very accurate.
Because I think the aim was a great idea. Farpoint's the perfect way to implement that and show what it can do. So do the same thing.
I'm in September, Gran Turismo Sport. It'll be this holiday. It might be November.
Have the VR edition or whatever, or a pack-in. So makes sense to me.
And so I predicted Resistance 4. It will be VR, but they'll be coming out this holiday. I think they will announce a Star Wars VR game, an X-Wing game. Completely all X-Wing. I would hope it's December, but I doubt they'll be able to get it. So I think they will actually announce that. Here's a Star Wars VRX mission. It will come out next year. Complete game with just online. If you like that level in VR, which Mo, I'm gonna have to have you play that. You haven't played that.
Which one?
The VR mission for Star Wars Battlefront.
No, I haven't played
when
it.
you're in the X-Wing.
No,
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's about just a 20-minute level. It was free DLC. They just added the level.
Rogue One.
Yeah, part of Rogue One. And I do think they will announce that Star Wars VR X-Wing mission, just game. So it'd be like Rogue Squadron game, but it would just be for the VR. So.
Maybe that was their test right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't do it now because they got to focus on Battlefront. So that would be more next summer.
Correct.
Something in the future.
Try to, like you were saying with the Spider-Man thing, try to time it with the Han Solo anthology movie.
Yeah, because I was going
pretty cool.
See to time it with the Star Wars here, but I don't think that's enough time to get it. I think a May
you need to focus
summer
on
release.
Battlefront.
Exactly.
Anyway, so.
Put the focus on Battlefront. That's the Star Wars game. Have that VR mission. And I have a bonus prediction as well. I am sticking to what I said last week with The Last of Us 2. I think as a competitor, I just think they have to say something about the PS5. About the next Sony system. Not give Xbox all the love, like, oh, they're coming out with a new system. Don't talk about it. Don't go into specifics what Xbox did last year. Like, oh, it's a Scorpio, here's the development, 6 teraflops. No. Drop the mic, Last of Us 2 on PS5. But some games, it's not exclusive. You can play it PS4 and PS5 because it's going to be in that transition, which some games have been. When the Xbox One came out, there was games Xbox One and 360 both. And knowing how Last of Us 2, how long it takes to make that game, I think PS5 will be very close, and I think they'll postpone it like they have with Zelda. Knowing how successful Zelda was for a hardcore game, how well one game sold for the Switch, and have that as a launch title for the PS5. When do you guys think The Last of Us 2 will come out? Realistically.
I would say next year.
I would say 2018, like around November, December.
Holiday 2018?
Yeah.
I would say that's their goal, but I don't think they're going to have it delayed. They'll be like
can't tie it to a product launch like that then. Again, here's why I don't think that's realistic is because I don't know that Sony or a lot of these companies are really in the process of basically announcing that they don't have anything to talk about. The reason why they can say the 6 teraflops and stuff is because they're going to get the questions from analysts and stockholders saying, what is in this thing? You said PS5. What does it consist of? Oh, wait, I'll tell you in 2 quarters what's in there. That won't fly with shareholders, so they won't do it because it's basically stock manipulation. No. If you do that kind of stuff, if you, it's one thing if we have conjecture about it. If a spokesman says PlayStation 5 coming soon and they don't have any kind of release date, they don't have any kind of specifics. All they've said is that Last of Us 2 will be on there. That's not enough information. That's going to be a lot of people are going to have questions that they aren't ready to answer, and that's the problem. Is they're not into cheap heat. They're into drop the mic moments, but it's because there's something backing it up. It isn't just, hey, because you could go out there at any time. Xbox could say, yeah, Scorpio, but guess what? Xbox 2, Xbox 720, whatever, and they could drop the mic. But if they don't tell you what's in there, a release date, cost, release window, it's a useless statement.
No, but it's for the stockholders, as in asking, what is your answer to the Scorpio? Nobody's
asking that because it's the same generation. It's not
supposedly.
Not next gen. It's okay. Well, again, this is conjecture. I thought we were trying to be realistic. That's not realistic because there's nothing known.
I don't see them releasing a PS5 just yet.
In 2019,
and you don't announce it in 2017 because it leaves you vulnerable for too many questions, and when you can't answer them, you look stupid.
I think
like Microsoft.
I think if they do release Last of Us 2, they'll have a particular setting in the PS4 Pro. I can see them having something like that.
Oh yeah, it'll be for sure PS4 Pro.
I think they'll have like something completely that revamps it on PS4 Pro, but I don't see them releasing a new console just yet. I don't see.
No, it'll be 2019. It'll be 2 years. They're gonna just go for.
But you wouldn't announce it now because the technology will move so quickly in 2 years. Anything that you announce now, they're gonna want some kinds of specs or again, if you're building it. have
They're
to
building
know
it
what
right now.
But you have to know what it's going to run on. And if I don't know that the PlayStation 5 can run it, and I'm trying to go super high-end luxury PC level, but then the PlayStation 5, when they do all the engineering and approvals and all that stuff, they go, it's not quite there to keep it in this cost ratio, then they built a game that won't run on their system, so then they'd be fucked, right? So they wouldn't do that. You're putting the cart before the horse.
I know what you're both are saying. I'm leaning more with what towards Rich is saying because they are. There's just out of speculation. I've been paying attention to Intel technology and chip processing and all that. All that information. They keep releasing new chips like just about every year, and for Sony to be a tip-top shape. If they were to choose a chip that has not released until next year, which is that what we were just talking about, this the Intel 9, instead of the i7 that's out right now, it's gonna, they don't even know how that chip is running at this moment. It's just all test and processing right now, and I think Sony would want to wait just a little bit longer. I don't think they would announce it.
Well, it's the same thing with the Scorpio. They announced it a year and a half before, but they've been working on it 2 years before.
Well, we'll get into that.
But we didn't get specs on it.
Yeah, they're not going to give any specs.
They were answering the PlayStation Pro, and it was a mistake. I'm not saying that that's the way to do it or that they were right. I am saying that was a mistake.
The Scorpio or the Pro?
Both of those are kind of a mistake in my opinion. But the way that the Scorpio was announced and how it's been dealt with, the fact that we're 2 weeks out from what we think is the official unveiling, and we don't even know if it's this gen or next gen, that's kind of a ridiculous place to be in. And that's where we are because they handled it wrong. And the whole thing of what my message has been, it doesn't mean it's their message, but my opinion is Sony is going to say, we've been doing this, we're consistent, we're not going to make the same mistakes, and we didn't make the same mistakes that you did. We learned from ours during the PlayStation 3 fiasco, and it only took them 2.5, 3 years in that generation, but that generation ended up lasting a decade for them.
Well, each console lasts about 10 years. Because I know they just announced that they're discontinuing the PS3. But they always say about 10-year cycle that they'll support their consoles, which happened with the PS2. I know it's very bold. I just don't see them being quiet. But those are our predictions for the Sony Press Conference. By the time this video is posted, we'll be a week away from the start from E3. So we'll find out very soon in the next few weeks how our predictions came out. Please let us know in the comments below what your predictions are for the Sony E3 Press Conference.